Wind Down with Books with your girl Kay. As you can see by the title, we're going to be discussing Sister Souljah's new drop, Life After Death. But first things first, you already know the vibes. I got my glass of wine right here. Make sure you go get your glass. Man. I am highly disappointed in this book. If you watch my last videos, you would know that I was super excited for the release of Life After Death. And with that, let me take another drink. So, Souljah, the people waited 20 years for this? Man, listen. So before the book even came out, I read a whole bunch of negative reviews. I have friends who received early release copies and they was telling me that the book wasn't it. But me being me, I wanted to, form my own opinion, because people like certain things, and people like certain books, and people may not like certain books. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give Souljah the benefit of the doubt. Let me form my own opinion. Why didn't I listen? Like, I should have listened. I kind of want my money back. So first things first, the book was confusing. The first few pages, I had to read it like 3 times to make sure that I myself wasn't tripping. The book was all over the place, and you seen it in the first couple pages. Like I literally had to go back and reread because I was confused as to what was going on. So the book starts off as Winter stating that her brother-in-law got her own reality show, and the first day that she's released from prison, she's shot dead. I'm like, what? Like that's a whole different twist from the ending of The Coldest Winter Ever. I'm like, Souljah, what are you talking about? Okay, I get that the book is called Life After Death, and common sense would show that, Winter eventually was going to die, or Winter was going to get in some kind of horrifying accident that will portray what her life was after death. I understand that concept. I understand the concept and the direction Sister Souljah was trying to go. Because that's the title of the book. But Sister Souljah did not deliver the concept. So for the most part, the book goes into Winter in another realm. The last stop. I can't remember. It's called The Last Stop Before the Drop. That's basically the last stop before you get to hell. I'm like, all right, we know Winter lived a selfish life. She was only out for herself. So, and she robbed, she murdered, she did anything to keep the fabulous lifestyle, the ghetto lifestyle that she was living. So it's only common, and she didn't know God, so it's only common that, when she died, she would end up in hell. Like, that's common sense. So the book is talking about going into, like, the garden and some house and dark space, and she's traveling and she's being pulled. And I'm like, what the hell am I reading? What am I reading? Like, none of it was making any sense. It was all over the place. Souljah was putting too much words. The book was dragging out. The first chapter, I was dozing off. I could not focus. I had to drink 2 glasses of wine. And I'm just like, if this is what the book is like in the beginning, do I even want to continue? And mind you, that's just in the first chapter. So, and I wanted to stop reading. But me being a trooper, I'm like, let me troop forward, maybe it gets better. It don't get better. It get worse. It get worse, guys. It get worse. So, Winter, for the most part, this is what happened. Winter was shot by her friend Simone in a room after release party. They killed her. Simone killed her, shot her, right? So, okay, in the book, once she's shot, she's feeling her bones crack. She's in the casket, everything. She enters a dark space. Then she enters the dark space, which is called the last stop before hell. Even in the afterlife, Winter is still selfish. She's worried about, she's dead. Mind you, Sister's dead. She's worried about what she got on, what designer, her hair. She's not worried about the fact that she's actually dead. She's still trying to live the same life that she was living when she was alive. And I'm like, yo, that just goes to show her true character, her true nature. Like, once a selfish person, always going to be a selfish person. Like, that's all she cared about. Her priorities in the afterlife, in my opinion, was even more fucked up, excuse me guys, than when she was living. So the book goes on to discuss like how Winter is seeing the three people that she loved the most. One of them being her dad, one of them being Midnight, and I believe the other people were, she didn't really care about them, but she saw her body laying there when she was shot. So when she was shot by Simone and a group of girls who contributed to her being murdered, and they was happy about that, that she was dead and trying to take over her show or whatever. And I'm like, damn, all right, cool, Winter's dead, whatever. I ain't feel nothing for her death. We didn't even hear about her death. We didn't even know exactly what happened. It's just, I came out, prison, shot, dead. All right, whatever. So now, all right, Winter meets the dude in the book called that nigga, right? So that nigga is the devil's son. Winter is so caught up in meeting dudes that she don't even see the danger ahead of her. So in the book, the devil is living the most lavish life. He's living bigger. The devil and the devil's son and his entourage is living bigger than people who that's living. In the afterlife that Winter was in, they was driving foreign cars. They had foreign feet, foreign clothes. They had cell phones. They had flashlights. They had big ass cribs. They had food. They had the work. They had computer. I'm like, yo, if they living like that, let me go see what it's looking like. But I don't want to stay. Let me go see. Let me go see. So now, I'm like, first of all, what? Now this is all weird. So Winter ends up having sex with that nigga, which is the devil's son. I'm like, what type of weird shit is this? So the devil's son end up having sex with Winter, and they end up having anal sex. Winter turns into a dog first. Like, what? I'm like, now sis is turning into dogs and serpents. I kind of maybe understand the message is like, you know, the devil is a deceiver. Obviously the devil is a liar. So the more you go into the devil, the more you start changing. Maybe that was the message that was trying to be perceived during when Winter transitioned into a dog. I'm like, what? And the whole time Winter's in this realm, Winter is like, yeah, I'm the baddest bitch. I'm the baddest bitch. I'm the baddest bitch. She want to take the place of everybody. She's not seeing the danger that's ahead, you know. And she was warned multiple times. Winter was warned in the realm because there was a girl that popped up, which is Winter's unborn child called Bomber Girl. So Winter had an abortion, and the abortion that she had was twins. So in the afterlife, the twins grow up and they meet Winter while they're in the realm, and the daughter is a boy and a girl twin. The daughter is trying to get Winter to go back on the right path so she could enter the kingdom of God. But Winter being Winter, she's going down the path of evil. Like, evil to Winter is fashionable clothing, fashionable shoes, being with the richest dude with the finest clothes in the car. Winter doesn't care about redemption. She doesn't care about being saved. She only cares about having the things that she had in life. Like, her priorities are messed up again. So I'm like, Winter, like, what's good with you, sis? So in the book, you know, there's an all-out war between the angels and the devil and his army. And while Winter is continuing down the path of hell, she has her twins trying to save her. Winter's not believing them. Winter doesn't care. She's just like, y'all not doing nothing for me. Y'all living a boring ass life. They had a place called the Covenant. Y'all trying to get me to pray. Look at the rags that I'm wearing. This is poor people shit. She trying to live that lifestyle. So of course she's gonna go where the trouble's at. So now Winter meets the big dog, which is the devil himself. The devil himself. So you know the devil himself had to come correct. He showed Winter the biggest crib that he had, which is called the lighthouse. He showed Winter the badass drip he had from jewelry. They had diamonds. They had badass feet. right? So they even had spas in hell, y'all. They had spas, full-blown salon. And I'm like, this shit is all weird. Like, I'm not interested. It was just bad boring. Like, it was just boring. The book was just boring. There was no excitement. It just went to living the same life that she was living on Earth. So back to what I was saying. So she meets the devil himself. The devil falls in love with Winter because Winter is a beautiful girl in the book, right? All right, cool. So Winter's always trying to come up. She's like always trying to finesse somebody, always trying to hustle. So she's like, all right, she made a deal with the devil. She's like, I need my own fashion business. I need the codes to this room. Winter's trying to take over everything, right? So he breaks a deal with the Winter and agrees to her terms. Winter being Winter, the devil and his son and his entourage like to have sex. So they like to have sex, but they like to have sex in the ass. So whenever one of the devil or the devil's son or whatever have sex with a female or a dude in the ass, they turn into an animal. So Winter realized that, so she's like, oh, her one non-negotiable was like, you can't have sex with me in the ass. So okay. So Winter's just like, I'm just like, sis, what? So she's like, all right, you know, everybody's warning her that this is the devil, what he's capable of. She's just like, all right, whatever. I'm still gonna get what I'm trying to get. I ain't listening to none of y'all. Y'all don't know no better. Y'all don't know what's best for me. So now, you know, it push come to shove, Winter end up getting raped. She gets raped in the book for the first time. First of all, she didn't get raped in real life, but she get raped in hell. I mean, I guess that's a part of what hell is when the more bad shit start happening you, but it was just mad weird. Like, what type of shit is you on, Souljah? So now she get raped. Then she have a bisexual interaction with one of her friends that she met in hell because she didn't want the girl to become the devil's number one. So Winter don't like girls. She's like, all right, I'm gonna just have sex with the girl. And now she has her first girl on girl experience. She gets raped, then she gets fucked in the ass, turns into a rat, and then gets eaten by a serpent, which is her friend who also got in the ass and turned into a serpent. So now she's in the belly of the serpent, and I'm just like, what? Like, what? Like, Souljah, what was you trying to accomplish with this book? So then it goes on. Winter finally realized that this is the devil, and the devil's been killing people. He has a club that he forces people into and burn them eternally or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, like, I wanted to throw the book out there. I'm like, this is boring. So then the whole time, Winter, the angels was trying to get Winter to see the right way to go before she finally descends. Her final descendant is into hell. They try to bring her back to the covenant, try to save her, but at that point, Winter's a lost cause. So Winter finally, decides that, all right, I wanna get out of this hellhole, get out of this black space. When she was finally I feel like when she was finally descending into hell and she didn't want to go, and her son, again, the son that she aborted who grew up, was like, if you say these words, it's like a Islamic word, I believe, you would descend to the place of mercy. So and a green light will open up, which means the mercy. So the green light in the book means mercy. So she starts repeating the word over and over and over again. Her son finally comes to get her and basically tell her, like, this is your last stop. If you don't bow down, if you don't start believing in Allah, in the book Allah, and you don't start reading the Quran, you're gonna go to hell. So the son brings her to a place, called Mercy. I can't remember the name, guys. Called Mercy. Winter was like, basically, all right, I'm about to go to this journey. I don't believe in Allah, but I fear Allah. And she, they told Winter everything that she needed to do to live a righteous life. And Winter was thinking of a plan, like trying to finesse them, like, all right, you said I need to know and fear Allah, but you mostly is like, I need to fear Allah in order to be safe. So again, Winter's finessing. So Winter enters a truth booth. She enters the truth booth. She's facing herself. So in the truth booth, she learns that she killed the old lady that she hit over the head in the coldest winter ever. She murdered her. So herself was talking to her in the truth booth and calling her a murderer. calling her a liar, calling her a stealer because she stole money from the church and went to try to deny it or whatever. So I'm just like, you know, in the True Boo, she comes face to face with herself. You know, it's no one else that's telling her anything. So I kind of like that because the True Boo was telling her, like, this is who you really are. When you think that she's a kind of a good person and that she's done no wrong, no harm in life, but nah, sis, you one of the worst of the worst. So that's probably one of the parts of the book that I like the True Boo, that she really started to see who she was as a person. I'm like, all right, that was interesting. So after the True Boo finally went to see like who she is exactly, and she's not the person that she thinks she is, all of a sudden it just cuts out. So I kind of figured through while I was reading the book, I knew that Winter was in a coma. That's the vibe I was getting. I'm like, there's no way Souljah is gonna kill her off. So in the True Boo, after all is said and done, Winter goes back. Her body goes back into the hospital. She wakes up from the coma. She goes back to her regular, fabulous life with the reality show. She's still the same Winter, but the only thing now is that she fears Allah and she prays in private. And I'm just like, what? Like, Souljah made us believe at the end of the coldest winter, Souljah made us believe that Winter was going to get out of jail, seek revenge on Boomer for, you know, letting her go to jail. She was going to violate him and violate anybody else. And then eventually, I assumed that Winter was going to get into some accident. She was going to get hurt, or somebody was going to try to kill her. And then she was going to a coma, and then she was going to like face God, and he's going to get her to see her truth or whatever. That's what I thought. That would have been a more interesting story. But you started the book off with, I'm shot, I'm dead, I'm in a dark space, I'm traveling through different homes, I'm talking about this rapper, I'm talking about these clothes. Like, Souljah talked about clothes so much in the book, I feel like I know every designer, to be honest with you. It's like Souljah like Gucci. And I'm just like, this was like, it wasn't it. It was so, the book was dragged out. It was so much unnecessary words. It was nothing compared to what we thought. And I feel like, you know, I get it. Again, life after death, but the message that Souljah was trying to convey didn't get delivered because the book was so dragged out and boring, and it was different and it was weird. It's like Winter's having sex with the devil and stuff like that. Like, come on, like, what? That is not weird. It's a different type of feel, but it just ain't it. It's not what your readers expected. Like, you should have went with what your readers expected, made it action. Like, people waited 20 years for nonsense. I get the concept that she was going for, which is self-awareness, redemption, salvation, revelation, retribution. I get it, but that was the theme. In my opinion, that was kind of the theme that Souljah was going for to incorporate in this book, but it just didn't get there. She didn't deliver it. Again, I feel like it's a bunch of words on papers, unnecessary words that could have been saved. It's not what I expected. I'm just kind of disappointed that in the route that was going. I do plan on returning my book to Target if I can find my receipt. If you read the book, let me know what you think about the book. Let me know the direction that you think Souljah should have went in. Drop a comment. Let me know about the review, because I think like this book, it was just too weird, and it wasn't worth the money that I spent for it. It's just a disappointment. I feel like, you know, my mother told me that my dad's coming to pick me up, and I'm waiting for him for hours and he never showed. That's this book. But again, drop a comment. Let me know what you think about the book. Let me know what you think about Sister Souljah's writing. I tried to give it the benefit of the doubt, but again, it was a disappointment. Follow me on Winedownwithbooks. Again, drink your wine. And until next video, guys, I'm out.